and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and I'm so glad you're here today. Today I will be sharing with you my ambitious, I guess, TBR for December. I am so excited for December. I'm excited for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is that I will not be in school. I love my grad school program with all of my heart. I love studying to be a librarian. I love the literature. I love learning more about what makes great literature and how to better recommend books to people. But I'm just tired. I'm really tired. It's really hard. Grad school is so hard. I thought that I would not complain as much. You know, I did undergrad school for literature and creative writing, and that was a lot of reading, but I was like, it's fine. I got used to it. This is more. I'm shocked. I didn't think that was gonna be possible, but it is. So I'm just excited for December because I wanna read all of the books that I wanna read, and I wanna have a cozy, fun time and make gingerbread cookies every single day and just read really what I wanna read. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the TBR. So in December, I am participating in a couple different readathons. There are a ton of really cool ones that are going on. 'Tis the Season is going on. Rachel Marie has a really cool one that's going on. Ali Corvair is co-hosting Fantasy-a-thon, which is one of the ones that I am participating in. And I'm also co-hosting a readathon of my own, and it's called the Cozy Little Readathon. So let me go ahead and tell you what books I am reading for that one first. So the first prompt is to read a cozy book. And for that one, I have chosen The North Child. To me, nothing is cozier than a magical middle grade. And I have been so in the mood for more middle grades ever since I finished A Pinch of Magic, which has quickly become like my favorite middle grade of the year. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. So I don't know a ton about this book. I know it's about a girl named Rose who decides to travel with a polar bear to a dark and mysterious castle where she is going to learn about a key to her destiny. I think that's it. I'm not totally sure. I love going into books pretty blind, so I kind of try to skim the synopsis just so that I'm really surprised. So that's the first one. We don't have a ton of bookish prompts in that cozy little readathon because we're doing a lot of cozy prompts as well, like building a gingerbread house and making yourself a wintry treat, and then participating in a 24-hour-a-thon with us. If you want to know any information at all, I will go ahead and link all of the information down below, as well as my announcement video somewhere up top. But the only other bookish prompt that we have on that list is to read a wintry read, and for that, I am choosing Winter Magic, which, perfect, because it says the word winter right there. This is just a compilation of short stories. It's like an anthology, and they are all about middle grade protagonists. Everything is set in the wintertime, and I'm very excited because a lot of my favorite authors are on here who have contributed to this. Like Michelle Harrison is the very first one, and she wrote A Pinch of Magic, which, if you are unaware, I'm just completely obsessed with, so I had to pick this up. Also, this is one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. It's perfect, right? Yes, it's perfect. And because it's a compilation, I really don't know a lot more about it. I just know that it's an anthology of middle grade magical stories set in the wintertime. Yay. So I have not made my TBR for the Fantasy-a-thon yet, but one of the books that I do know for sure that I will be reading is Winterwood. Shea Ernshaw wrote The Wicked Deep, which is one of my favorite books, actually. I just think it's so cozy and perfect and kind of spooky. And so obviously I was gonna pick this up anyways, but I love that it is the Fantasy-a-thon's group pick. I will be reading along with all of them as well, and I can't wait. This is about a boy who runs away from camp, and he goes out to live in the woods, and he has lots and lots of secrets, and he has been discovered by a girl named Norrell who goes into the woods to learn more, I think, about the Walker women, who were witches who were supposed to have descended from those woods. And so it's kind of just about their interaction and their story together, and I'm very excited. I would read anything that Shea Ernshaw wrote because I love her writing style with my whole heart. Okay, let's talk about more of the middle grades that I'm planning to read for December. So one of the middle grades that I am planning on reading is Frostheart, and this is by Jamie Littler. I hope I'm saying that right. I love this. This is the Waterstones edition. I had to special order it. It's so beautiful. I think that this, again, middle grade covers are just like, they always win for me. But one of the most beautiful books for sure. Just think it's so pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and read the back of the book for this one just because I feel like it sounds super intriguing and it's gonna do a better job than me. So it says, far out in the coldest part of the monster-infested Snow Sea, Ash waits for his missing parents with only his grumpy Yeti guardian for company. But when an accident reveals that Ash has amazing magical powers, he's whisked aboard the Frostheart, an explorer sleigh with a daring crew who need his help. I just got chills. I'm ready. Next, we have the Polar Bear Explorers Club. I'm so excited I got this. I ordered this about a month ago, 2 months ago, and a lot of my friends who watch my videos actually all commented down below on my last video and said that I would love this book. So yay, same page. I'm so excited. But again, we've got the cutest cover in the whole wide world. This is by Alex Bell, and this is about a girl named Stella. So this is about a girl who joins the Polar Bear Explorers Club, basically, and she goes on this huge adventure where she meets snow pirates and terrifying yetis and golden geese, and it's just kind of following her adventures in this new Explorers Club. I can't wait. This might end up being like one of the first books that I pick up during the month. It has all of the vibes that I'm looking for, you know? The next middle grade that I have here is Shadows of Winterspell, and this is by Amy Wilson. And again, we've got the cutest cover in the entire world, and I'm so excited. The little tagline says, deep in the forest, magic is waiting. So I don't know a lot about this. I know that it's about a girl who lives in the woods, and the woods are supposed to be kind of magical. And then she starts to go to a local school, and she learns more about all of the lore and all of the magic that is held within the woods. I think that she kind of has to set a wrong right, and she has to learn more about where this magic comes from. And it's just about her little adventure, and it sounds super cute. Next, we have The Eye of the North, and this is by Sinead O'Hart. I'm so sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. The back of this one says, Emmeline is prepared for everything until her parents mysteriously disappear. Fearing for her life, she flees on a ship to France, where she befriends a stowaway called Thing. But even he can't help her escape the clutches of the villainous Dr. Siegfried Bauer. I'm so excited. So apparently this guy is looking for a mythical creature, and they're all kind of swept up into this adventure, and it sounds awesome. Okay, next I have The House with Chicken Legs, and this is by Sophie Anderson, and a lot of people have been talking about this book actually. A lot of people have said that this is one of the best middle grades that has been written in a really long time, and anytime I hear anything like that, I immediately put it on an Amazon wish list or a book depository list just so that I can kind of snatch it up and read it ASAP. So this is about a girl named Marinka, and her grandmother is actually Baba Yaga. I mean, I think most people know who Baba Yaga is, but she is the person who kind of helps spirits cross over to the other life. She's part of like a lot of Russian folklore. Essentially, Marinka kind of wants to break apart from this. The house is always moving because the house that they live in has chicken legs, and she kind of wants to set roots down and have a normal life and make friends, but the house has other ideas. So I don't really know a ton more about that, but I just feel like it's gonna feel so cozy and so magical around this time of year. So of course, I can't wait. Then I have a reread that I really want to do, and the reread is for The Ocean at the End of the Lane because I finally have the illustrated edition, and I am so excited about it. The illustrated edition is beautiful, so there's that. And that's a huge reason why I actually wanted to reread it. It's just so incredibly gorgeous. This is one of my favorite books. I read this last year for the very first time, and now that I have the illustrated edition, I just want to reread it immediately. So this is definitely going to be one of the books that I pick up this December. If you are unaware, this is a really awesome novella. It's hard to explain. I would honestly say that it's magical realism because it blends the fantastical with the real, but it's also very genre bending because it has a lot of sci-fi elements, a lot of just straight up fantasy elements in here. So I don't actually know what to categorize this as. You can't categorize Neil Gaiman. Like, that guy can't be pinned down, you know what I'm saying? This is about a grown man who goes back to visit his parents for a funeral. And when he goes back, he decides to go to Lottie's house, which was his best friend growing up. and they used to sit at the edge of this pond and pretend that it was an ocean. When he sits there, he kind of starts to remember this one particularly magical year when he was a little boy. And it has lots and lots of dark elements. This is an adult book for sure. I don't recommend this to kids at all. The elements in it are weird and wacky, and it has a lot of very deep and sad things that the protagonist has to face and conquer, but it's done in a very gentle and beautiful way, and I just felt like the language and the images of this were brilliant. I love Neil Gaiman. Everyone knows that I love Neil Gaiman on this channel, so I am very excited to get to this one. Next, I have a book that one of my bestest friends, Ali Corvair, sent me, and that is The Tea Dragon Festival. I have been dying to get to this. I love the Tea Dragon Society with my whole entire heart, but I haven't been able to read this yet, and I'm gonna make it a priority. It has to be done. Like, The Tea Dragon Society is one of my favorite books of all time. If you are unaware, The Tea Dragon Society, it's literally just that. It's about a girl who discovers a magical little tea dragon, and she takes him back, and she kind of learns all about these magical little things called tea dragons, which are baby dragons that can produce tea leaves. And it's just the most cozy, wholesome, beautiful story. I don't know anybody who doesn't love it, honestly, and this is just the continuation, so I can't wait. The Tea Dragon Festival, it's so cute! And this, of course, is by Katie O'Neill. Next up, I have The Starless Sea, and this is by Erin Morgenstern. I have already started this. I am a good chunk of the way in. I'm like at 117. This is such a beautiful, beautiful book. This is by the author of The Night Circus, and I'm very, very excited to get to the rest of this. I have a feeling this is gonna be one of my favorite books of the year, just because the language is so lyrical. It's just so gorgeous. This is about a boy named Zachary who, when he is younger, sees a drawn door on a wall, and he thinks that if he goes over there, it will open up into another world, kind of like Narnia or Alice in Wonderland. But he decides not to open the door because he doesn't want to be disappointed if it's not really magical. Years and years later, when he is at school for studying video games and the storytelling aspects of video games, he discovers an old book, and in the book is the story of him going to the door and opening the door. And he suddenly decides to try looking for this door. And it kind of leads him into this really, really wild adventure. There's a lot of really awesome elements that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to give anything away. But I will say that I think most book lovers and video game lovers actually will love this. It's basically an ode to storytelling. It's a love letter to book nerds. And I'm a book nerd, so I appreciate this love letter. Also, I'm in this book briefly. There's a character named Lexi in it. She's only on one page, but whatever. I'm in it. Next up is a book that one of my really, really great friends, Kat, has been telling me to read for a while, and that is This Is How You Lose the Time War, and this is a novella co-written by Amal El-Mohtar and Max Gladstone, and I am very, very excited. She said that it's like this thrilling sci-fi epic enemies to lovers time travel story. So as soon as she told me about this book, I immediately went out and bought it because I trust Kat. She has told me about a couple of books that have become like all-time favorites, like I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. So I feel like we have very, very, very similar tastes. But yeah, this is a female enemies to lovers, and it's about two people who work for different companies, and they're, I think, trying to stake claims on different territories in different worlds, I think. I'm not really sure, and I feel like I'm gonna get the description kind of wrong. So basically all you need to know is that it's about two people who are going in time and trying to compete with the other person. This will probably, again, be one of the books that I reach for first. I have two more books and then that's it. So the first one is The Shadow of the Wind, and this is by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and this has been on so many of my TBRs over the years, like I can't even tell you, because I keep wanting to read this, but I keep putting it off, and I don't know why. This is about a little boy. His father runs an antique bookstore, and his father kind of takes him to a secret place in the antique bookstore, and he allows him to pick out any book that he wants. And this little boy picks out a book called Shadow of the Wind. And he falls in love with the book, and he falls in love with the characters. But as he grows up, he realizes that you can't buy Shadow of the Wind anywhere, and that somebody is going out and destroying and burning all of the copies of Shadow of the Wind. And so it's kind of like this mystery. It takes place in Barcelona, Spain, so it's I think also a timepiece as well, because I don't think it takes place in modern time. 1945, so it's got a lot of elements that I'm really interested in. I'm super interested in the mystery. I'm interested in the fact that there is a book within a book. I love books like that so much. So yeah, I hopefully will get to this year. That would be great since it's been on my TBR for actual years. Yeah, I need to read this, don't I? And then the last book that is on this TBR is a big book. And maybe I'm a little intimidated by it. And that is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. And this is by Susanna Clark. I just bought the hardcover edition for this, but I think that hardcover is in my car and I don't feel like going out to my car right now. So we're just gonna stick with the paperback, but look at how big this thing is. Like, how many pages is this? This is 846 pages. So will I actually read this? The whole thing in 1 month? Maybe. But maybe not. I don't know a lot about this. I picked it up actually years ago because it's one of my favorite professor's books. He was my literature professor for, I had him for a lot of different classes, but specifically I believe I had him for British literature. And all I know is that he has impeccable taste and that this is one of his favorites, so I really need to get to this. So both of the characters, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, are both magicians. They are both very magical people who have a lot of power, and I think that it kind of centers around how they get involved in a war that's going on, but it's all about like secret societies and a lot of epic storytelling, I guess. I'm sure you can tell that I don't know a ton going into this, but I really want to read this. I've heard amazing things. This is my most ambitious part of this TBR, but I'm still gonna try. Well, you guys, that is it. I am so excited. I can't even tell you. I can't wait to do the daily vlogs. I can't wait for all of the bookish content that's gonna be coming your way on the weekends. I'm excited because my family's coming to visit. I'm gonna be hanging out a lot with my friends, and I'm so happy that it's finally December. One of the most magical times of year. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you so much. And until next time, book lovers, keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye!